Welcome to our demonstration of the Retrocup. This is an alternative to commercially made tilting ball and socket type arrangements that cost $40–50. And homemade units like this one are a prototype which had a cork top. The Retrocup kit is actually a do-it-yourself to some extent. We provide you with all the correct parts, and all you do is put it together based on your own requirements. The basic kit includes a stabilization ring which sits on the stage surface of your photographic rig. It includes a steel plate which is installed to the white hemisphere using some adhesive called Sugru from the UK. You get 2 packs of Sugru, the steel plate, the stage disc, the white hemisphere that fits in onto the black disc and allows you to tilt and rotate, as well as a black disc and a white disc, along with 6 tiny magnets that come with the kit. So now let's just show you quickly how the system goes together. I'm going to pan over here a bit to an area that we can all see what's going on here. And our first step for the DIY kit is to take a packet of Sugru and cut that open. Sugru is an interesting product. It adheres to just about anything, especially if it's a smooth surface. You'll be getting 2 packets of this with the Retrocup kit, and it's a very pliable material that is good for about an hour or so after you've opened the package. It is dated, so you get fresh Sugru. So the first thing we want to do is to roll some Sugru into a strip, and this takes overnight to harden. So once you've placed it on the area that you're interested in securing, the first thing we're going to do is secure the steel plate to the hemisphere, and we can roll this out and compress it later. So we just want to get some of this in place like so. Smooth it out with your finger. It's easy to work with, kind of like plasticine, modeling clay. And just to give you an idea of what is possible, we're going to hold back on using all this one packet, just enough to get things in place as far as the hemisphere and the steel plate. So there's our steel plate and hemisphere all assembled. Again, this will want to set up and stabilize itself overnight, or just set it aside for a 12-hour period or so. And now that'll fit right on to our base, and as you can see, it holds itself in place very nicely as we tilt it. So that's a steel plate, and now we can work with our discs. And here you'll see a sample of a disc, and I used some of the leftover Sugru previously to hold shell casings for ballistics studies. So there's one I made for 38 and 45 caliber shell casings, and that works out pretty nice, and I can tilt it and get all kinds of different angles as needed. Excuse me. So we're going to take some of the Sugru now and decide if I want to have the magnets adhere, and I found that if I use 3 little blobs of sugru, if you want to use 4, but 3 seems to get the job done pretty nicely and holds things in place. And we take one of our 6 magnets that comes with the unit and mush those down into the little blob that we've put on the plate. Like so. It's amazing how strong these little magnets are. They really are quite powerful compared to the magnets we used to play with when we were kids. So there you'll see, and that now attaches. I won't put that on until it sets up, but here's one I did earlier for the shell casings, and that now sits onto the magnetized base, and you can not only tilt the sample now, but we can slide it with the magnetic base in the XY. So we have a multi-axis tilting and XY, and of course our optical axis for our camera system would be up here or off to the side. And again, you can make up both of these discs, one for a black background, one for a white background. You can even take any leftover sugru, mount it on your stage plate, and make yourself a holder. And again, once we've made a hole, we now have a nice hole to put something like this in place. Now don't leave that in there overnight or it'll be stuck in there, but make it big enough just to hold a typical sample. You can even make some pinholes in the sugru, and then you'll have something to pin insects to. So that's kind of how we're going to do things. And the nice thing about this disc diameter is 4 inches, 100 millimeters. And again, you'll see our prototype that we made. Originally we just used a quirk disc, so you could use pins only. And then we came across sugru and the magnetic scheme, and now we can put on there rather large samples, circuit boards, ore samples, plant material, shell casings, ballistics, just about anything that you may be working with. So that's basically how Retrocup is assembled. It's not rocket science. It works very nicely for your specific application, and it's fully expandable in that the discs can be removed from the steel plate and you can get more discs and have a variety of different sample holders based on your needs. So thanks again for your attention, and we look forward to hearing from you if you have any questions about assembling or using Retrocup. Have a good day.